I just thought I'd pop in for a minute because Kerry's not coming at the moment. And I've got something far more important to tell you than Kerry has. You're very nice.
So where's Kerry, actually?
Oh, I don't know. She gets nervous.
Sorry,
Sometimes
everybody.
she gets caught in the toilet. But don't tell anybody that.
That's probably not appropriate for now, Searl. But I don't know whether you're actually meant to be here.
Yes, I am.
All right, then.
Please
well,
let
I'll
me
just
have a little look.
let you
My
have
name,
a moment.
Yes, look, I just want to tell you that my name is Searl Smith, and I've just been up in the learning space with them nursing students at the Central Queensland University. They can't do without me. I get in there and I teach them everything they need to know. I'm a patient, most important, but I go there. I used to go to bowls on a Thursday, but now I go to the university. And I have many ailments, but I teach them. I teach them about patient care. You see, I'm a butcher by trade, and you probably think, what on earth has a butcher got to do with nurse? And I can tell them all about anatomy and physiology. You see, I particularly liked pigs when I was a butcher, and that's most like to humans. But most important, that my granddaughter has done nursing, and I've read all of her books, and yes, so she learns everything from me. But more important than anything, I'm a patient, and I have been in and out of the hospital more times than you've had roast dinners. Yes, so, look, I just want to say too that my wife, Joy, she passed away 18 months ago now. I get a bit emotional. I've got a new tie on today. She'd be most proud. And she was in the hospital and she had a fall. And she passed on, and of course now her death has become very, very important to me because we've turned something negative into something positive, because I go and teach the students. I say, now, have you got the brakes on, and have you got the buzzers in reach, and have you got the belongings? They all know the 5 B's and also about the hand washing and everything like that. I just want, you see, I've got a dreadful sore I want to show you. Look, get a geezer at this. Yes, can you see that? Oh, yes. Well, the students have been looking after that very, very well. But, yes, so I suppose Kerry wants to come, but my message to all of you is that the students learn to respect me and treat me with dignity, and I enter their minds and their hearts. And they meet them on the first week of their university or their first year. And then, do you know what? They allow me to go to their graduation dinner. They can have any guest they like, but they say, no, they want Searl. I put on my new suit and my tie, and I make a very memorable speech. And I say to them, they wouldn't be here without me. And they say, yes, Searl, you taught us everything. And their mothers are in the audience or whoever, and they say, who's that old geezer? And they say, hey, it's Searl Smith. Yes, so thank you. I suppose I better find Kerry now. So just a sec, please.
Thank you very much. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about entering the space and minds of students' hearts to shape their practice as nurses and healthcare professionals in the real world. So my presentation is entering the inner space. So who is Searl Smith? Searl is an 84-year-old gentleman who does suspend students in disbelief. He is a butcher by trade. His granddaughter has done nursing, but he is there with a very, very important message. He teaches students to care. He teaches students about the patient story. He makes a difference in their learning journey. And he's forever telling them and reminding them of what they do need to do to ensure patient safety is at the utmost. But Searl is also the face of Mask Ed. Mask Ed is a simulation technique that I designed about 8 years ago. It simply means masking the educator and masking the education process. The KRS is about knowledgeable, realistic and spontaneous simulation. It's about the expert teacher or educator that hides behind the silicon. The character is then created behind the hidden educator, and the character has a history that allows them to be a platform for learning and teaching. And so the journey begins. Why on earth did I create such a technique as this? My mission is to make a difference in patient care. I am blessed with teaching first-year nursing students and have so for the last 23 years. In particular, first-year nursing students don't have always the realities of practice. I have the space of a learning environment in the university, and here is my stage to make a difference. So I started working with them, and this particular day I'd been working with students and they were doing dressings on a silicone buttocks, pressure injuries. I watched them carefully do those dressings and they were so focused on the dressings, but nothing was attached to that silicone buttocks. Now, any student in my class knows that when they come in there, they've got a dress-up box to deal with. They come to university and they say, a dress-up box? As if? I'm not going to dress up. I say, yes, you will. Within weeks, you'll be dressing up, and they do. So I sent them out on a break, this group of students that had been doing dressings, and I came back and I got the dress-ups on. I put the silicone buttocks right in my big bra that I found in my dress-up box, put on my Bombay bloomers, put on my beautiful frock, my glasses, and there was the character Ivor saw. They came back into the classroom, they were doing dressings, but they were doing it on Ivor. And the only way that Ivor could keep the false teeth that I had in was to have a protruding tongue. And I had a handbag with heartworm tablets. God knows how they got there, but suddenly she was a lady that had medications for her heart and worms at the same time. However, students could see my face. So the power disparity was still there between the lecturer and the student. Plus, I was stereotyping the older person. I didn't want them to see that. However, the engagement and the learning was profound. The results from the students that year was amazing, and so I was lucky enough to win an award. From there, I thought, what can I do next? I need to hide myself. So I started working with an amazing guy in the US, Rusty Sluicer, who would provide me with some amazing face masks, and so I would be hidden. And here are some of my characters. In particular, Muriel Moore, she's a retired matron and she's forever telling the students to wash their hands and have they done this and have they done that, but they love her dearly. But I needed more. I said to this guy, I can't just have faces. I need to suspend students in disbelief. I need them to touch the untouchables. I need them to prepare them for out there. Unless they get those experiences out there in the real world, then what am I actually missing out in the classroom? So I asked him to build me some penises and build me some vaginas. He thought, oh my God, I've never had anybody ask me that sort of question, but I got them. And so now I can wear full body torsos and the students can shower me, they can catheterise me, but the teacher is behind navigating and directing that learning that goes on, giving the students the realism that they need. The core elements of this is not just a silicon prop. It's about the expert educator that is hidden behind that navigates. It's the educator that navigates and directs the whole learning, and the character is such the platform for learning and teaching, and it's a three-way interplay. The connection, the vulnerability of that character allows the students to connect and make a humanistic relationship that lasts their 3 years of their nursing journey. It's also about a pedagogy that I created. I needed to share this with the rest of the world. I needed to share it with other educators. So I created a pedagogy that would fit with it. I started building up teaching resources, then came the keynote addresses, workshops that we now run for 2 days a week, and we have now seen this creation being transferred to other university environments across all disciplines, not just nursing. I can stand up here and I can say, this is such a fun way to teach, but how do I know that? So we did the research. What did the students say? It prepares them for the real world of clinical experiences. It's beyond the textbooks. It's stuff that's not there. How do they get that? Because we are experienced educators that have had those patient moments. It's about the hidden messages, the important things, the respect, the care. But most importantly, it is engaging and it's having fun. The students only need to hear Cyril Slippers coming along the corridor and they have got the giggles before he even enters the classroom. When he's having a catheter put in, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh please mind my pubic hair, I don't like that, you get it all caught in your gloves. It's okay. But I'm a paediatric nurse, and so I needed to do something different, something more. And so I thought, well, what else could I do? Why could I not put the pedagogy of mask ed behind some puppets? I have a wonderful identical twin who's as crazy as me, who started using puppets in the classroom, and I thought, here is my inspiration to apply this differently. I'm going to show you them shortly. So I came up with puppet preparation. So we work with the people who are using these, understand the learner who you're working with, play in action to suspend disbelief, evaluation to see have they got it, and debriefing. What else do we need to do next? We use two types of living puppets and patient puppets. The living puppets are procedural puppets, so children can do procedures to the puppets. And the living puppets work and live, and they live in our hospital ward at Rockhampton Hospital, where they are a part of the staff. You walk in, there's all the staff photos, but so too are our puppets, who are permanent fixtures. We use them for teaching. We use them for human relationships education. So two of my puppets are undergoing puberty. So they go out to the classroom and they have their bits and pieces in their bag. Little Lulu is having her period, so yeah, she's got her pads and she pulls them out of the bag and she shows the students what they are about. She sometimes dips the tampons in a bottle of water to see how they explode. The kids love it. It's also about preparing children for invasive procedures, for scary procedures. But it's about distraction, supporting, and having fun. Here are some of our puppets that we have in Rockhampton Hospital. We've got Tommy Searl, he's a very naughty puppet. We've got Florrie Nightingale, who's always looking for a boyfriend. We've got Has I Had Enough, and we've got Frankie Stein, because he's not the most attractive puppet. Before I show you this puppet, one of the things that we found with the research was this, that the infection control is an issue. So our next idea is, what else could I do? I thought, well, maybe I could marry the silicone and the existing puppets, and what do we now have? We have now the creation of our first silicone little boy who is nearing completion. He's 18 months old and he will be procedural, so the kids can do things to him. He'll have a trachea, he'll have a port, he'll have a nasogastric tube, he'll cry, he'll have a runny nose, and he will be part of their journey. So before I close, let me just show you the puppet. This is Lulu. Lulu, do you want to say hello? You do? Or are you shy? You are shy. Look at all these lovely people. You don't know where you're at. You're at TEDx, so we've got to do it right. So Lulu, do you want to tell them what's the matter with you? Okay, hang on. So Lulu, you have what? Yes, you do have asthma, don't you? So how do you help the kids? No, don't stare, not now, don't stare. No, Lulu, not now, darling. We spoke about that before you came on stage. So Lulu has asthma, so she has difficulty in breathing. We have a little child coming into the ward, difficulty in breathing, doesn't want to have the Ventolin. Lulu can look at her and she can start to mimic that behaviour of the child. The child says, I don't want that Ventolin, I don't want that Ventolin. Lulu says, you want to have Ventolin? Yes. So we say to the little girl, Gracie, would you give Lulu the Ventolin? So she gives Lulu the Ventolin. Lulu settles down. And then Lulu says, can you give Gracie the Ventolin? Of course. Let's say Lou's so greasy. Will you let Lulu give the Ventolin? Yes. And so our problem is resolved. So these little guys are very much part of the journey for our children, for our students. And my message to you is dare to be different. Dare to think of different ways that you can engage learners if you are in that teaching space. And I think sometimes we can hold on to our ideas in our inner space, in our own worlds, and forget to share them. There's lots of challenges when you do share, but the benefits are profound. Thank you.